Bye, guys.
Good night. Chuck, did you do the YouTube too?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I just started that stream. So we're live on YouTube too? Oh my god.
We always are. What?
What a mess.
Oh, do I do that?
Yep.
Yes.
I've never done this.
And Chuck,
Put them on. Put them over your hair.
you're the
Not
best.
behind.
Oh, you're the best.
It looks way better.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Tips.
Thank you.
Vaughn. What's going on, my man?
Hi, Mom. Chad and Amy, I absolutely love you. I got to see Chad and Amy in person, live in the flesh today because they're so beautiful and kind and brought your girl some amazing flowers.
I actually knew that you two would do that. You guys are literally the best.
It's actually really crazy because I just happened to be walking downstairs too, and then all of a sudden I saw Chad and Amy, and I'm like, what?
Yep.
Talk about making a girl.
So Emily's not here. She's on vacation this week. We've got Chuck Zamzow running the show.
Zamzow.
Not Zamzow, but we got our Chuck running the show today. So bear with us.
Oh, guys, before we forget though, because we don't want to run the meeting over because we have been, and we understand that everybody that's on the East Coast and all of that good stuff that you guys have other things to do. We will not
Sleep. Like sleep.
Mm-hmm. We will stop accepting hand raises at
6:45.
yeah.
Unless there's not a lot of hand raised,
Right.
we'll play that by ear.
Or if there's like a actual serious burning desire. Oh, I see your mom. She made it.
Burning desires, guys. Does anybody know what a burning desire is? No?
Well, they are muted.
I can't hear anybody. I'm just
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Welcome to the show.
poor Jen. She doesn't know. I know now she does though.
She does.
Anyways, guys, welcome to the Tuesday night Recover Out Loud meeting. We really appreciate you guys all showing up for us and for yourselves every single Tuesday. Mm-hmm. This is a really special Tuesday. I don't know if you guys know that, but this is legitimately a super special Tuesday because not only is it the Recover Out Loud, but it is actually Natalie's 13th birthday.
Yeah, boy.
And
yeah,
I know, it's kind of cool because like a couple people from our Recover Out Loud have showed up. Shout out to Kristen Domke, Coach Kristen. She showed up, brought Natalie a chip. Mm-hmm. She brought me a coin. She brought us both mugs that say sober at AF on them.
And then last night, actually, Kristen joined me at a women's meeting, and Kristen took her 1-year chip there. So, like, that's the beautiful blessing of this Recover Out Loud meeting is stuff like that.
Yeah, make sure people can't put porn up on the screen, Chuck. Yeah, check that because that's happened before. And that's not fun.
No.
Nobody wants to see a wiener, guys.
No one needs to continue to see their therapist about the Recover Out Loud meeting.
Yeah. And then can you add the chat over to the side there, Chucky? Anyways, again, this is a really special Tuesday night, and Natalie, you've been hanging out for a little while, and I know everybody always gets you pink chips, but I wanted to get you something that wasn't pink, because when you originally dyed your hair from black in the WWE and you went against the grain, which ended up being the best decision you made during that time.
It was.
I got you a 13-year birthday chip.
I can't even look at you because then I'll cry.
It's all red everything, guys. All red everything. Go back and watch Total Divas.
Oh, wow.
This is dope.
13 years of continuous sobriety. Think about that, too, because, also way back then, you were one of the first people and it was a decision that you talked over with your family, your sponsorship family, everybody, right? 13 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And let everybody know you came out with your sobriety on season 1 of Total Divas.
I know, it's crazy.
How dope is that? I'm like sweating because I'm like nervous.
I know. I can't look at you because I wasn't even emotional, but I feel. Why do you always do that? I just feel overwhelmed with gratitude. I mean, this chip is sick. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's awesome. Because the red actually is like super important, because on season 1, I really feel like that was a God set me up for exactly what I'm doing today, and that's sitting here in this chair next to this guy and doing what we're doing, which I had no idea then that that's what my life was going to turn out to be, and I couldn't be more excited, grateful, and all the things, especially over something that I was very much ashamed of, or I wanted to keep a secret. So the fact like my parents are on here too is everything to me. So I don't want to take up too much time, but I just really love all you guys that come on here every Tuesday night, because we have a chat. This shit ain't easy by any means, but it's so the amount of peace that I have, and just the different seasons that I've walked through. Obviously, my parents are my rock and everything, but God is number one, and He holds us through the good, the bad, and the different. And so, and I love this guy right next to me too. He's walked through a wild season in my personal life too. So I'm really grateful for the entire team. Miss Penny and Ernie came with dinner, and I mean, that's just the program, and what we do is just I'm reaping the gifts, and I couldn't be more thankful for the people that God has put into my life in this exact season. So if you are new, hold on, hang in there, because it gets better. And I feel like my life is a testament, because God knows it ain't me. That's a fact. So I love you, Chad.
Thank you.
And I know, Charlie, you're on here too. I love you too. Miss Penny, Ernie, and I love all you guys. And then obviously my parents, Freddie and Joe's. I see you. I love you guys. That's enough out of me.
Yeah, we're figuring out we got it, dude. Look there I am. I'm on the camera. Chuck's got it down now. Yeah, because they couldn't see your coin.
Oh, they couldn't? Okay, here
No.
we go. Can you guys see it?
Put it up to your camera on the other one. Yeah, that one.
This one?
Yeah.
It's like the prettiest coin. And you guys know that I'm like, pageantry is a thing that I do enjoy. So
I don't know if you guys just like really quick before I go into you didn't say anything about your hair, did you? Like what happened?
I mean, I just said the significance of the red, but not anything in depth. No?
So she was supposed to dye her hair blonde, is what the WWE asked her to do, and she went and did something else, and went red because there were already blondes there, and it worked out. It really worked out. So, what was the name of your signature move?
You know it.
Tell them.
I mean, my hashtag was all red everything, and then my move when I came back was sliced red number 2.
Sliced red number 2. There you guys go. Anyways, guys, again, thank you for showing up every week. There is very significant a story to why this podcast exists, and even Natalie stepping into my life, because prior to what happened in my life, I didn't know Natalie, and she came in as a guest, but through tragedy and through pain, a lot of good, amazing things have happened. But on 9/11 of 2022, I got a phone call at 7:30 a.m. from my 21-year-old daughter at the time, screaming, and when I answered the phone and I heard the screaming, I knew Justin was dead. She had found the love of her life dead from fentanyl. My son-in-law, I call him my son-in-law. He was actually her fiance, but they had been together since she was like 14 years old. So he was like a son to me. He grew up at my house and was on every family vacation with me and my kids. He was a big brother to my other children, and we lost Justin, and God put it on my heart to be the voice for the people that had lost their lives. And in 2022, you weren't hearing a lot about the fentanyl crisis, but the truth is that was the worst part of it. At that time, 300 people were dying every single day from fentanyl. That's a jumbo jet crashing every single day, and we weren't even hearing about it. So I decided to take God's advice and pick up a microphone, and something I never, ever wanted to do. But to be the voice for the people that have lost their lives and to offer hope to people that are out there struggling, man, because like everybody knows that I know struggling, man. I relapsed as an owner of a treatment center. I was stuck out there. I was hopeless, full of shame, guilt, everything that we go through, man. And I was not going to come back. I was riding my last one to the very end, and now I'm emotional, and God had a different plan for my life, and we went and visited my last detox center just the other day, last Tuesday, as a matter of fact, 550 North Flower Street in Santa Ana, the Orange County Jail, and it's the best place for me to detox because I can't leave, and that's coming up on 9 years ago for me in June 9th.
20 for me.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Right? Mm-hmm. So, that's how all this happened. And like, we joke around and we have a good time, but because that's life, right? Let's not take life too seriously, but like, let's take recovery seriously. And the fact that this disease is real and that there's no shame in having this disease. Like, there's no shame in relapse either. Do you think a cancer patient ever gets shame because he relapsed? I'm sure they get fear. But nobody's like, oh, my God, you're a worthless piece of shit because you relapsed and now you have cancer. I mean, we have a disease, a dis-ease. But there is a solution and there is hope. And you guys are going to hear that tonight. And you all are going to offer each other hope. Because we actually do recover, from a hopeless, helpless state of mind. Mm-hmm. Anyways, Jen, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, grab that microphone and pull it as close to you as possible. There you go.
Okay. I just have to say it's not a coincidence, and this is why my God is hilarious. Look who's speaking tonight. You have red hair.
She has red hair, the exact same red hair.
Come on.
All red everything.
That's right.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, okay, am I doing it?
Yep.
Okay, so Jen, alcoholic. It's funny because, like, I have natural red hair, and I grew up being, like, the chubby kid, like, the acne, the curly red hair, and just always getting, like, made fun of. And then as I've grown up, I've, become the things that I was always ashamed of. Growing up, I always had that ism, that need for more, the need to seek out of myself. I can honestly say I think the first addiction I ever had was food. And then it went to just, it's so weird, but buttons and stickers, like anything that I could get my hand on and collect, like I just needed it all. I grew up very sheltered, and I grew up in a household where it's like I never went without. I always had a roof over my head. I always had food on the table. But what I didn't have, through no fault of my parents, because they didn't get it either, was I didn't have a place to express myself or, really like get into the emotional things. So everything that I was going through in my head, I just had to bury it down and stuff it down. And so I chose food with that. And then, just growing up through that, it started to turn into other things like shopping and, just like as you grow up, like you progress with all the things that you can grab your hands on. Like, I don't know. I love my life that I have today. My sobriety date is January 7th, 2019. I was introduced to Alcoholics Anonymous on a DUI that I got when I was 22. I'd love to say that got me to stay in the rooms, but it didn't. I remember I got the DUI and I was high on ecstasy, and so the whole experience of it all, like, I wasn't scared. I was like, this is gonna be okay. We're good. And my my experience with everything was, it started with drinking, and then it just dove right into doing all the things that I thought that I would never do, like experimenting with coke, and then doing, smoking weed, which I never liked. I never liked it. I never liked coke. I thought both of them were boring. But then I was introduced to, raves and, all the things that came with that. And of course, I felt the love there. It was just, I finally felt like a part of something. And I was hanging out with the crowd where, I was shy. So when I got invited to hang out with this crowd, I finally felt like I belonged somewhere. And when everyone was starting to get DUIs, they're like, "Oh, welcome to the Dewey Club." And I felt so a part of. I was like, I've arrived. And it's just ridiculous. Like, I just wanted to be loved. I just wanted to be accepted. And, I did have alcohol poisoning at one point, and I just remember coming to in the hospital, and I just walked out the doors, my ass hanging out with the gown, and I didn't think anything of it. They gave me papers, here's some information on alcoholism. And I thought that they were just being dramatic about it all. Like, I'm 21 or 22, like, let me live. Some people have fun, some people don't. Very black and white thinking on that. And, during that time, like, my dad, I had one of those relationships with my father where it was just, you butt heads. It was a constant battle of trying to, like, kind of get my mom's attention. I was kind of like inconvenienced. So there came a point with my dad where I was like, okay, like, I would really like to work on this relationship. And I was in my 20s, and, what ended up happening was he ended up having a stroke, and he was unable to talk, very clearly, and then diagnosed with Parkinson's, and then diagnosed with a brain tumor. I had no tools in my toolbox to know how to walk through any of that. I was living with my parents at that time, and I just remember thinking, like, God, like, I wanted to work on this relationship with him, and now he can't, like, communicate. I have a history of bad choices with men, skilled at that. So, I mean, just to show, like, where my self-worth was at, and, how hopeless I was, is I stayed with the guy who lied to me about his name, age, height. He put shoe inserts in his shoe. I didn't know that was a thing until one day I was like, why am I taller than you? He lied to me about his girlfriend being dead. I was like, she wasn't dead. And I stayed because I thought, this is the best that I can do. I'm the former fat kid. He calls me chubby, so this is as far as it could go. Like, no one else is gonna want me. And again, I just wanted to feel something. It's interesting because, like, I have my associate's degree in paralegal and criminal justice, and I was doing so good during that. I also was addicted to Adderall, so that was a big thing. I would go to college and I would get, like, these amazing grades and go home, do my homework, and then I would go party at night. And I just kept thinking, like, well, what's the problem? Like, I'm doing everything that I should be doing. I was working full-time, school full-time. On the outside, everything looked really good. Like, it really did. I was good at hiding my drinking for the most part, except for the people I was partying with. But then it reached a point where it was, instead of being the first one on the dance floor, I was the first one to fall asleep at the club on the couch, having the friends come and get me saying, like, hey, like, they want you to leave now. And then from there, it just turned into not wanting to go out of the house and just drinking alone. When I was 29, I opened up my own cake shop. And I thought, okay, this is it. This is going to be the thing that fixes me. Because my dad had passed, And I didn't know how to deal with it. And so I was seeking, like, what's the next goal? What can I grab onto? So I opened a business, and it was beautiful. It was pink and all the things, all the, chandelier. And it was great. And, you have a grand opening. And then once the loudness of that quieted, I was left with me. I worked by myself, and I would work in the kitchen. And no one could watch me. No one could see how much I was drinking. So there were many times where I started waking up with half-eaten cupcakes. I would be blacked out, which, I mean, it was just a mess. And I got to this point where I had to text myself about conversations that I had, like, Jen, you talked with Natalie. Everything went okay. You have plans tomorrow for brunch. Like, you need to go. You talked with Melissa. She's being weird, but it's okay. You didn't do anything. Like, I had to narrate just everything because I could not remember. I couldn't remember anything. I didn't know that blacking out wasn't normal until, like, the middle end of my drinking. And, it just got to a point where the text stopped and I was lost. I'm like, I can't manage my life. And it got to a point where then the alcohol just stopped working, and I did turn to self-harm for a bit. Again, just wanting to feel something different. I can honestly say the last day of my drinking wasn't even the worst. It was just the saddest. When you see your mom cry, it's just... What had happened was, I'm a drunk texter, and I find that to be the most embarrassing part of my story. I spewed it out, like, I'm not okay. I don't want to be alive. This is what's going on. And I remember her sitting in her chair. She was crying, and it's like, I need to go back to that place. And that place was the 502 in Covina. I'm from Glendora, but I got sober in Covina. And, I tried to, just jump in because they said, if you want to stay sober, you need to get a sponsor and you need to work the steps. And so that's what I did. I got a sponsor, I worked the steps, and I had a relatively easy first year. I know the first year tends to be really hard for people. Mine wasn't that bad. I was living at home. I was just at my shop. Like, I didn't have kids and stuff like that, which, it just would have added a whole other layer. And I'd love to say that I got that year, and I just stayed, and I stayed committed to it all, but that didn't happen. I was approaching my year. I got some resentments. Stopped going to meetings, and then COVID hit. And when COVID hit, and my thought was, this is God's will. He does not want me to go to meetings. I was gone already. Like, that's sick. So, there was a boyfriend involved. We moved in together after 6 months because we knew each other so well, and we're so sober. And, I was dry through majority of all of COVID for about 2-3 years. And, let me tell you, there is nothing more lonely than an alcoholic who doesn't want to drink, but doesn't want to go to a meeting. Like, what do? Like, I was stuck with myself. I didn't want to go back to my old life, but I didn't want to go to you people in the rooms and, like, do the readings and just all of that. And I finally got to a point where I got to see who I am without alcohol. And she's not nice. No, she goes into Ashley's furniture store and cusses people out over a coffee table. She flips people off. She just lashes out. This is sober. Like, that's crazy. And, I just got to a point where the uncomfortability was like, it's enough. You hit that another rock bottom. And what was happening is I was, the relationship that I was in, the one that I thought I was going to marry, the one we have an apartment together, the dog, a car, all the things. It was slowly starting to unravel, and I knew that I needed to get back in a program or I'm not going to be okay. My mental health was slipping. I didn't want to be alive anymore. It was one of the darkest times that I've had in sobriety. You know, it was one of those things like where one person's working a program, the other isn't, and it's like you just watch each other completely change. And I had to, make a decision like, am I going to stay in this situation how I typically would, just to say I have a man next to me so I'm not alone, or do I make a scary decision and start over? And that's what I did. And that's actually thanks to Al-Anon. I did have to. Some people are sicker than others. I need 2 programs. That was the best decision that I made. It's making those scary decisions that have led me to this point. And, starting over at 38 was not in the plan. I did have to move back in with my mom because I couldn't afford to live, have an apartment by myself. So I don't know, like with that, I was really beating myself up like, man, I'm like failing. I'm coming up on, I was like 6 years sober or 5 at the time. And like, this is where it's like full circle, like back home with mom. But it's been such a blessing because I've had conversations with my mom that wouldn't have happened if I wasn't there. We've had conversations where I was telling her about my childhood, like, oh, don't you remember, like, these kids would follow me home. They would grab my double chin and twist it. And remember, they jumped on my head. They slammed me into a tree. Like, it's like that old school bullying. Like, they didn't put me in a locker probably because I didn't fit. But, like, I thought she never said anything because she didn't care. And the truth of the matter, she didn't know. And so I was carrying around this hidden like resentment that I was trying to get away from, and just like that, it's healed. When my dad was passing, I was not the best daughter. I was drinking a lot, and I always had this regret and this guilt, like I should have been better. I was there physically, but mentally not there. And what I've noticed is my higher power puts me in situations where I don't want to say I get to make up for things, but I get to heal. So I helped my mom take care of my grandma. She had dementia. She's almost 105. And with that, I got to help my mom take care of her the way that I should have helped her take care of my dad. And I just found it like it was just really healing. And the other thing with that is with dementia, my grandma thought I was somebody else most of the time, and I got to learn the importance of doing something for someone even if they don't know you did it. And I don't know, like what a gift. I don't know, it gives me chills because I needed that. That was a gift for me. And when my grandma passed, I was able to be there for my mom, like to make sure she was okay, make sure that everything was getting done. Where I'm at today, I love my life. It is far from perfect. And there are many days where you would think that I hate my life because I could just be a brat. But I just try to be as real and authentic about it all as I can. Like I said, I was the kid with the red hair, all of that. Now my hair is even more red. I work with food, that used to be something I would hide away from. I never wanted to eat in front of people, like, because I didn't want them to know, like, why I was big. It's kind of, yeah. So, and now, like, I'm a personal trainer, and I get to work with women who are, tired of starting over and just want that confidence back. Like, to give people something that I so desperately needed back then is such a gift. I'm still living in Glendora, and I don't know, I just feel like internally grateful for it. It's easy to look at life like, oh, I should have been doing this, I should have been doing that. But I mean, I don't know, like compared to what I used to be somebody eating pills off the floor at raves and, you know, drinking leftover beers and mixing things. Like, I don't know. My life is just very beautiful. I have the privilege of working with other women. I have amazing sponsees. I have an amazing sponsor, and I have amazing sponsee sisters. I'm very blessed to be in a community of Alcoholics Anonymous where we work the steps. It's like we do the work. We don't sit and complain and then do nothing. Like, let it out, do the work, and then show somebody else how to do it. And yeah, I'm very grateful for my life, and thank you.
Amazing.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Loved it. You did great.
Thank you.
Yes.
I mean, there's so much to your story that even like I can relate to. You know, I grew up the chubby kid, and I think a lot of people, you know, I found drugs. Meth was my first love, right? Because I did that, and it took away everything. I thought I had arrived. I was home, you know, and I went from being the chubby kid to the skinny kid, and that was the biggest first lie, right? That the drug told me. And then all of a sudden, then I started getting attention from the girls, and
Yes.
That was like, and that was it. That's all I ever wanted, you know. And it's just crazy, man. I just love stories, and I love the fact, I love what that you're living in your purpose too, because like now you're helping people that you know, are going through the same stuff that you already went through and that you got past, you know, and that's such a beautiful thing. And I think that's one of the most important things that we can find in life is what is our purpose, you know.
Yeah.
I know everybody has the same purpose. I'm going to tell everybody, if you don't know your purpose is to be of maximum service to God and others, right? But what that looks like for each individual is different. You know, I should have died in a car accident on December 9th of 2000. And, you know, God had a different plan for me. and 5 days later, my little baby girl was born. And, you know, since that day, everything that's good in my life, I always call my oldest daughter, the one that found her, like everything that's in my life that you guys see is because she was born, you know, and God left me here to be a father to that little girl. Her mom's was a heroin addict, and her mom was never in her life. So I was dad, and I figured it out, and I, you know, I had great help from my parents, especially grandpa. Grandpa wasn't working, so dad and grandma were holding down the fort back then. I think they're probably both on the. But my dad would I would go to work, and my dad would watch my daughter when she was just a baby. But man, you know, it's like God left me here to be a father to that little girl and to help other people that suffer with the same thing that I suffer from. You know what? Y'all know what I suffer from?
Stinking thinking.
Yeah, it's not this disease of addiction. That was my solution to what was really going on with me. And I still have the problems today, man. Like sometimes I look in the mirror and I'm like, who is that fat fucker right there? You know, and he wants to come out and just bully the fuck out of me.
Yeah.
You know, that little fourth grade Chad comes out and just like terrorizes my head. You know, but like you said, I have a solution today, and that solution is in the steps. You know, that solution is surrendering to my own thinking, you know, and turning it over to God.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because like we don't have to be perfect. You know, it's just progress, not perfection around here.
That's right.
So thank you for coming and sharing, man. You made a difference in my life today.
Well,
Appreciate that.
Mm-hmm. And you touched on everything that's like so important too, especially the dry drunk era, because I can relate to that big time. And it's a miserable place to be because you have no excuses except yourself. And that sucks. That's even worse. At least like you have a drink or a drug to blame. Like, you know. Should we get into it? Yeah?
But I mean,
Or are you like, what's wrong with you?
It's the thing is like I'm not sure. Do we go with the first person who had their hand up first?
I don't know who the first person was, but Joe B looks like the first person.
It is Joe B. We don't know what he's doing, changing a light bulb,
He's always doing
doing
something.
some kind of
I'm gonna start calling Joe B activities Joe.
He's steaming a shirt. That's what I see. Steaming a shirt.
Sorry, I got a new steamer and I love this thing, so I'm steaming everything. My whole closet's getting steamed. Hey guys, Joe, alcoholic.
Hi, Joe.
Hi, Joe. Nat, congratulations. Super proud of you.
Thank you, Joe.
Kristen, super proud of you too. My boy Von's approaching a year. Super proud of him. Really, everybody. I just love the transformation people are making. Kelly, congratulations to you too. I know you're. Oh, there's a hole in this shirt. I'm gonna be pissed. I know mine. Anyway, so the speaker. I don't know your name. I heard everything.
Jen.
You were fantastic. What is it?
Jen.
Jen. Oh, nice, simple. Okay. How you doing, Jen? You were really good. I loved it. I identified with so much. Fat kid, also extremely smart, though, right? To add and even really take school seriously. Loved ecstasy. Got locked up. DUI classes. Just made me a smarter drunk. Questionable decisions with the opposite sex. Let's see what else. Couldn't be alone. By myself, in my head. Needed something to get through all of that. I get that too. That was hard. Now as you could see, I just stay busy. Had something else, but I got distracted. Clearly I have ADD. But oh yeah. Chad said this, right? And you were hard on me. I noticed you were crying a couple of times thinking about, I guess, regrets, stuff that you weren't around for. We've all been there. We aren't strong enough to handle those things at the time. My father got cancer. I wasn't there for it. A lot of people died. I wasn't there for it. My sister's wedding, I didn't go to. And the truth is, I wasn't emotionally ready for any of that stuff. So even if I was there, I would have just got wrecked and ruined it or embarrassed myself or blacked out because we thought it was normal. So like Chad said, it's a disease. We had a disease. And at least now we're treating it. And we're never going to be that person again if we continue doing the steps. You say you do the steps, you probably live in 10, 11, and 12. You sound like you do. That's the miracle in itself, right? That's what makes us guaranteed to never relapse again. Live in 10, 11, and 12. Stay with sober people. Have a good network. Be a part of the fellowship. And you'll never, ever, ever have a bad day. I'm living proof. My life is dope. Every day, it's one great thing. Today, I had to deal with something that my lawyer couldn't do, and I did it for him. I was the lawyer today. It was awesome. And I got exactly what I needed done with 2 different departments. And I handled it because I'm sober and I'm recovered and I'm able to handle these things without emotion. Logic. That's the difference. And I'm grateful for that. I think that's it. Love you guys. Enjoy the rest of your night. Congratulations. Deuces.
Thanks, Joe.
Thanks, Joe.
We love you. Kristen.
Okay, listen, guys. I'm being safe. I promise. I'm not looking. Okay. Also, one question, Joby. How many shoes do you have? I just saw hella boxes. Sorry. See, I have ADHD, though, so mine's more fun. Natalie, I just want to say congrats. I'm so pretty. And oh no, and Jen. Oh no, is it frozen?
No, you're good. You're good. You're
We
staying
can
with
hear you.
it. No, you are. Damn. She jinxed herself.
Yeah. She frozen?
We'll come back.
We'll come back
We'll
to
come
you,
back.
Kristen.
Matt.
Family was good. Natalie, congratulations, sis.
Thank you, Matt.
You know, love you big time, man. I told you earlier, but congratulations again.
I appreciate
True
you.
inspiration, no doubt. Everybody else, Kelly Ray, you got your year coming up Friday. Super dope. Love it. Kristen, you just got your year. Love it. Super dope. Vaughn, you got your year coming up. Super dope. love seeing you guys shine. And Jen, appreciate your story. Really, really good share. Glad to see you doing well. Keep doing what you're doing, and it's gonna keep working. Real quick, I need to try to get through something that I want to share. So, It's about us telling our story to other people, and not telling our hard parts of our story. I mean, yeah, definitely touching on that, but touching what's working for us today. Um, so they need your testimony, not because you have it all figured out, but because you don't. Not because your life is spotless, but because God met you in the stains and stayed. Not because your story is impressive, but because his grace is. Our testimony isn't just what God did for us. It's what he did for us when no one was watching. It's the prayers you whispered when your faith felt thin, the obedience you chose when quitting would have been easier, the moments you questioned God's timing but trusted his heart anyway, the tears you cried in private, wondering if this season would ever end. People don't need to hear that you're strong. They need to hear what held you when you weren't. They need to hear that you almost gave up and God didn't let go, that you wrestled with fear, doubt, anger, disappointment, and still found him faithful. That healing wasn't instant, growth wasn't neat, and breakthrough didn't come without scars. Your testimony gives permission for honesty. It tells the struggling soul you're not crazy, you're not weak, you're not alone. It reminds them that God works in process, not in miracles. There are people who will never step into a church, but they will listen to what you have to say. They trust your voice because they've watched your walk. They've seen the change, the fruit, the quiet consistency of a life surrendered. Don't downplay what God has done because it feels normal now. What feels normal to you is supernatural to someone still stuck where you once were. The enemy wants you silent, convinced your story doesn't matter. God wants you obedient, willing to speak even when your voice shakes. You may never know who your testimony reaches. You may never see the full impact, but heaven keeps count of every seed planted in faith. If God delivered you, someone needs to know how freedom is possible. If God restored you, someone needs to know how broken things can be made whole. If God sustained you, someone needs to know that they can survive this too. Don't bury your testimony. It was never meant to stay with you. God didn't bring you through it just to keep you quiet. He brought you through it so others could find their way out. Super, super powerful. Brought me to tears reading it. And keep working this program, people. Stay in your pack and know that this world is a better place with you in it. Love you guys.
We love you, Matt.
Thanks, Matt.
Love that.
Bon.
Bon Von. Damn, we got some March birthdays up in here. That's all I gotta say. March is a banging month.
We be popping in March. What can I say? What's up, fam? How y'all doing tonight?
Amazing.
Awesome. Natalie, happy 13 years. You are continuing to be an inspiration and you continue to lead by example. You are amazing. Thank you for being the light that you are for all of us. You're truly amazing and you truly are God sent. Truly grateful for you and Chad and all of the fam. Jen, wow. Living in your truth and in your power. I needed to hear that. I resonated so much with everything you had to share, especially about just being a dry drunk. You don't want to drink, but you don't want to go to meetings. You don't want to live the way you are, feel the way you've been, but you don't want to take the action necessary. I feel that. Just puts it into perspective of how it really is, how much you want this. And I loved what you said, like life isn't perfect. Like on paper, life is not great right now, but this program and God has taught me to walk through it. Taught me that I don't need to drink, that I don't need to use, that I don't need to unalive myself, that I don't have to live like that anymore. I just found out that an aunt is sick, an uncle's dead, and I've been watching over the past weekend my hometown of Waialua, Hawaii get wiped off the face of the planet and the storms that they've been having. I've been praying so much, and I've been leaning on God for everything because that's the answer. Going to my sponsor, going to God, praying, diving into that toolbox of every tool that I've been given in this almost year since I've been working my program. And you know what? I'm okay with everything because I know that it's going to be okay. I know that if I can make it through today, I don't have to worry about anything else because I made it through today. All we have to do is just get through this 24 hours at hand, because that's people like us. That is all we're promised, is the 24 hours. And some of us, we don't even have that. But I loved every share so far. I always hear exactly what I need to when I need to in this meeting. It's my favorite night of the week, to be with the family, to be with y'all, to be with my people. So thank you for always being here. Thank you for allowing me to participate in my recovery. And yeah, thanks for being all of you.
Love you, Von Von. Kelly.
Kelly M.
Kelly M.
Hello. My name is Kelly. I'm an alcoholic. Thanks for having me. Thanks for having the meeting. Happy birthday, Natalie.
Thank you.
Jen, your share was so good. You were like, when you were talking, you reminded me of something that's like, it's probably the simplest yet most profound choice that we have, and it's who we surround ourselves with. I hear when you come into the room, stick with the winners. And that's what this group reminds me of, is like, surround yourself with people like who you want to be like. They act how you want to be. They treat people the way that you want to treat people. They work their program that way that you want to work their program. They suit up and they show up. They call their sponsors. They go to meetings. They share. They do things when people aren't looking. They do esteemable acts. Like, just surround yourself with those people. And I did a pretty good job. I have a really good core group of people. I have a great sponsor. I have great sponsees. I go to a lot of strong meetings, and I surround myself with people that love this program. Jen, when you were talking about your service that you did for your grandma, I did the same thing. I was the caregiver to my grandmother, who was 91 with dementia. I did it for 5 years. Tell me there's no God. I don't know how I survived 36 years. I don't know how I took care of myself for 36 years. But I lived through it, and I lived to be able to help my mom take care of my grandma while she was working. And when you have purpose, you feel like life became precious to me. And I didn't feel like that. You guys, I didn't care. The amount of drugs I took, the pills that I took, the danger that I put myself into. And now that I know life is precious, when you guys told me to come into the rooms and work the steps, and you told me that one drink is too much, I said, I made this point blank declaration. I said, life's too precious. I'm never going to take a drink again. And I haven't taken a drink in almost 2,200 days. I couldn't get 2 days sober, let alone almost 2,200 days of continuous sobriety, not a mind altering substance, and I don't need to turn that. And then the last thing is, like, they say, have you a sufficient substitute instead of drinking? It's like, heck yeah, look at what we're doing here. Like, heck yeah, there's a sufficient stuff to do. It's Alcoholics Anonymous. It's the steps. It's higher powers. It's God. It's all the good things. That's all I got. Thanks for letting me share.
Love that. Thank you, Kelly. Chuck Zamzao. You're not doing it, Chad.
Zamzao.
What's going on, everybody? I'm an alcoholic. My name is Chuck. Grateful I woke up today instead of coming to. Jen, I thoroughly enjoyed your share tonight. A lot of it was very relatable that we all talked about so far. I was that fat kid too in school, and got picked on and everything else, and held a chip on my shoulder. And it created who I was becoming. And that dry drunk discussion, and I didn't know whether to jump off the side of a building or drink, as a lot of the times when it happened. It just brought me back. A lot of those memories come back, even though being on this journey for over 17 years, a lot of those things still come back. Not to haunt me, but to remind me of who I was and who how far things have come along. And I'm grateful for everybody sharing all these birthdays today. We handed out a 6-month chip tonight and a year chip tonight, and make a little light and a little bit of laughter tonight. I shared with the gentleman that got a 6-month coin. My first sponsor, Ed, walked over to me and handed me 2 3-month coins. Said we didn't have a 6-month, and I looked at him, and this is the kind of bantering we used to do to each other in the group over here, and a little bit of fun. And he turned around and smiled at me, and he handed me a 6-month chip. And I'm appreciative of all that stuff, because then it realized to me that I wasn't taking things too seriously. And we're right where we're supposed to be today. We got the keys of the kingdom, and then that's all I got.
Love that. Thanks, Chuck.
Thanks, Chuck. It looks like where we're sitting right now, Wendy G will be the one taking us home.
Yeah, we go to Jesse, but
She's just gonna be the last
he's just saying
one.
that Wendy's the last.
We got like 5 in front of her, but Jesse Sanchez.
Sorry, what's up, guys? What's up?
Your last name is Sanchez?
Yeah, it is. I don't look like it, I know. But when this starts growing out, people start speaking Spanish to me. Anyways, congratulations, Nat.
Thank
Natalie,
you.
That's amazing. Jen, to you, I'm sorry I was late. I caught what I needed to catch, I guess. So talking about a dry drunk is where I jumped in, and man, I got some experience with that. I went through a little bit of a dry spell myself, and it's funny because it was I'm afraid that it's going to happen again. I'm kind of telling on myself here because so how do I make a long story short? What was going on when I dried up is my mother-in-law had moved out and she was helping a lot with the kids, or it was just my son at the time. And I'd moved, so I didn't have my support group, and I didn't have, I wasn't going to meetings, and I just kind of got bitter and stopped going. And it was fucking rough. Like, I wanted to kill myself. I wanted to kill myself so bad that, like, I started thinking about, like, oh, well, I can't leave my family. And then the sick thought came into my head of, like, oh, I'll just take them too. And I was fucking sick, bad, but I was sober. And it was scary. And the reason why I'm sharing that much is because right now, my mother-in-law just moved out, and it's scary, right? It's this feeling of like, oh, fuck, I've been here. I know what's going to happen. But it doesn't have to. And that is why I tell on myself. That is why I go to meetings. And I'm lucky because I've created a community around me, and not just, meetings that I go to in person, but I have this community here that is so fucking beautiful, because out of the blue, when I'm having a shit day that I'm just stuck in my own shit, that someone on here, usually Matt, reaches out, and I'm like, he pulls me out of it right away, so the whole dry drunk thing, I don't know why it happens. I mean, I guess I kind of know, but that's another discussion, right? But it's a scary place to be sober, where you don't want to drink, but you don't want to live, So thank you for your share. This is that's all I got, but check in on me, guys. I'll be all right, but I'm here. So thanks, guys. Bye.
Love you, Jesse.
Are you in our group chat, Jesse?
I think he is.
Yeah, he is. He's nodding.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kelly Ray.
Natty, Chatty, Jen. Hi, guys.
Hi, Kelly.
Hi.
Hello.
Cheerio. So, guys, I could relate to a lot, Jen, to your story. I wasn't overweight, but I was bullied anyway. Just for, I guess, just being the awkward nerd kid. These glasses are not just for show. So, I tried to kind of just lay low at the time, just kind of would just be that loner kid, but it kind of made me stick out more, I guess, to the bullies, and kind of started drinking at an early age with my dad at third grade when I would go hunting with him. So that kind of took a life of its own, and then experimented with marijuana when I graduated high school, and that made me feel pretty damn good, So stuck with that, and then graduated to cocaine, and then stayed with that and coke and alcohol for about 10 years. So did that until I got caught, and now I'm facing some shit because of that. So April 22nd is my arraignment, and on the 27th of this month I'll have a year sober. So
That a baby?
there's that. Yeah. So you know, I mean, I'm trying my best to just not wreck it to the ground because I have 3 more days. So I'm just taking it day by day because that's what I've been doing since I started this thing, and it seems to be working. So you know, I just I go to church every day. I work out every day. Take my dog on a walk if I can. If not, then I hit the weights. I hit my knees regularly, like pretty much 3-4 times a day if I can, or more. I went to my first confession with the father, and that was pretty good. Yeah, he goes, "Well, Kelly, this is a really good confession."
He's like, you
I said,
better
"Well,
bust
thank
out those Hail Marys at our fathers.
yeah. So I'm still actually doing some because there was a lot. 36 years of sinning, you know. So I think I spent like an hour and a half in confession with him. But I literally left everything out there, like, you know. So I felt like that was kind of like 4-step work with the priest, kind of, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so I did that, and I felt really good, and it's going to continue just to keep doing what I've been doing. And thank you guys for being a part of my journey.
Love you, Kelly.
Love you.
I think Kristen lost service again. That's what she put in the chat. But I see her. She's moving. I think she's working. I think it works. Yeah, give her a shot. Are you back?
Sorry, I was going through the checkpoint for border patrol. And sometimes I lose service. So, can you hear me?
We got you now. Yeah.
Maybe.
Yep,
Oh,
you're
yay.
there.
Okay, cool.
Mhm.
Sorry. Okay, if I lose service, you just let me know. I don't know how you're about to let me know, but just let me know.
We'll just mute your ass.
I mean, that's fine. That's all right too. What I was saying earlier, thanks again for letting me share. Happy birthday, Natalie. I'm hella proud of you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And Jen, listen. Okay, so I was like a big raver as well. And so when you was talking about that, I was like, I understand. I was like, oh, I'm fine. And then I go to the raves and I'm like, oh, I'm not fine, but it's okay because I'm still having fun, right? But not really because like I'm not surrounded by the people I need to be surrounded by. But man, when you were talking about like I don't know, everything that you get to do now to help people with what you wish you had, is that what you say? Like wish you had, like you get to help people now with what something like you wish you had, like personal training wise?
Yeah.
Is that what you said? Okay, cool. I just want to make sure. That's what I needed to hear. So I've been, this whole week, this weekend I celebrated like a year, and every freaking meeting was like surrender. I was like, why? Why? And then it was also about like, going into what you're called to be and what you're called to do. And I was just like, I was on the plane today and I was praying and I was like, am I supposed to really start this like personal training business? Like, am I actually supposed to do this, God? Like, I don't know. Is it just me like not putting in enough effort? Is it, all the questions came up and I was like, you know what, God, like, if you want me to do this, like, let me know. And I was praying just for like some encouragement from somebody who's had like kind of a similar experience. And I think it's crazy because I'm like, God, like, are you for real right now? Like, I was listening to you talk and I was like, dang, like, thanks for answering my prayer. Like, it's so cool just how like God works in that way. So I just want to say thanks, man, for just like being you and listening and just like living the life you're meant to live. And it was like a super awesome like share, and I was super happy to be able to be on here tonight. And yeah, I just love you guys, and thanks for, always being here every Tuesday. So that's it. Thanks, guys.
Kristen, how are you not going to say you took a chip last night with me? You took a year. I mean, you should celebrate yourself too.
Congrats on your year.
Yeah, Kristen.
And thanks for coming by and, hanging out with us for a bit yesterday. And thanks for my chip and my mug. And
I'm upset with you giving Chad a chip.
And Natalie's chip. Hi, babe. I see you. I see Kashmir with his ears
Donna.
Hi.
Hi, Mama
I'm
G.
Crystal. Hi. I'm Crystal, and I'm an alcoholic. And first and foremost, Jen, thank you for your story. And thank you for coming on. It was really great. But I got my hand up because I'm not going to take up too much time because I know we're at 7:00. But I really got my hand up because Nat, you're really cool. And happy 13 years. My sobriety date is 10/13. 23. So, I like the number 13 too. And this is my third time. So I'm really stoked on that sobriety date. So for you to have 13 years and for me to only be coming for 6 months to this meeting, is amazing. And on Friday, I don't know how close we get to meeting you or if we're allowed to
I'm right up in the mix. You're gonna meet me. We're gonna hug.
Cool,
we're gonna have it out.
I have a bracelet that I would love to give to you that I make. It has rose quartz on it, and I would love to hand that off to you if you would accept it.
I would love to have it.
But I will be there with a couple of my little shenanigan hooligans here on this meeting. To meet you in person on Friday and celebrate and and get to do this thing live. So I'm Crystal. I'm grateful to be here. I'm just claiming my seat. Happy birthday, girl. Thank you for paving a path. I can't wait to see what you continue to do. So can't wait to see what 14 looks like.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have to give you a little special nugget too, because 10 is my number. So that's been my jersey number my whole entire life. So the fact that your sobriety date has 10 and 13 in it, I don't know. Just God aligning. So I can't wait to meet you on Friday.
This is just your friendly reminder that we have a in-person Recover Out Loud this Friday night right here in San Juan, beautiful San Juan Capistrano. All are welcome. I hear Julian's flying in all the way from Massachusetts. Just playing Julian. Julian actually did fly in for one of our Recover Out Louds, and he was here. But yeah, it's this Friday night. It's from 6 to 8. It's like this meeting, but better.
Yeah.
Chuck will be are you gonna be here, Chuck? Yeah, Chuck will be. We got a stage downstairs. It looks like our podcast studio. We like to have a lot of fun. Oh, who did that? Serenity. Thank you so much.
Oh, good job, Serenity.
Literally gonna
yes.
I was gonna throw Chuck under the bus for not having the flyer available and ready, and it's not even his fault.
Not at all.
There's the flyer. It's from 6 to 8. The address is on the flyer. All are welcome. We hope to see you guys there. Pumped. We're oh my God, you guys, we have an amazing AA circuit speaker coming. So it's gonna be an incredible night.
I think so. I'm excited.
Yeah. Food, dancing. Natalie and I are probably gonna bust out one of our new dance moves that we're working on.
He always does this.
Week.
We haven't worked on any dance moves whatsoever.
But
Chad just enjoys to dance up there and then make me feel silly, and then I have to go and save him. So I don't know why he does this to himself. And then he starts sweating. So, but yeah, that'll probably happen for sure.
It's fine. It's really good, and
everything is fine. Everything is fine.
It's good to get out of your comfort zone once in a while, you guys. You can't.
Oh, my mom liked that one. She was laughing.
I mean, your parents have been here. They saw me bust a move. And they thought I did a good job.
Don't egg him on, you guys. Yeah, they're like, yes. No.
But we're gonna practice dance moves on Friday before the big shenanigans.
Thomas, help us.
Thomas, alcoholic.
Hi, Thomas.
It's funny you mentioned 10 because I just got my 10 months.
Oh my gosh! Congratulations.
Yeah, and it's weird. In this last month, I've been asked to speak at a meeting this Saturday, by one of my sisters, Kiki.
Yes,
And
Kiki.
I have been really coming back to how I've gone to 10 months, and it's really the spiritual program. You know, I've been in AA this entire time, and I got into a morning meeting at 8 a.m. called Huggers. I've adopted another meeting at 5:30, a Vision for You, and then I have a men's stag meeting at 7 p.m. every night that I go to, that I see my sponsor at. You know, I really took the suggestion to, you know, accept a higher power of my understanding, and I've chosen to call him God. You know, I've chosen that because it's worked for so many people. You know, and if it's worked for so many people, why do something different and try and control something that is out of my control? And my spiritual experiences have been unexplainable, other than that the truth is that we all can stand under the roof of love and choose to love each other and help each other through being sober, you know. And I didn't really know what to share, so I opened up my In God's Care daily meditations on spirituality and recovery. And I'd like to read the March 24th. It says, to love oneself in the beginning of a life is the beginning of a lifelong romance. Oscar Wilde. Most of us complicate the decision to love ourselves by seeing our human imperfections as reasons for harsh judgment. Perhaps this became a pattern for us as children, but we don't have to let our feelings then control our decision to love and nurture ourselves now. The small child within each of us is profoundly in need of unconditional love. Expressing love and nurturing ourselves through affirmations, prayer, and meditation will break the control our early thoughts had over us. It may seem too simple to think that all we need is to decide to love ourselves, but that's our task. One we may need to do daily for weeks or months. With faith and perseverance, we will see the results we hope for. Today, I will love all of me today, even the not so perfect parts. Thomas, alcoholic.
Love that.
Thanks, Thomas.
Thanks, Thomas, and congratulations on 10 months.
Yep.
Bring us on home, Wendy.
Wendy.
Hello,
Technically
family.
it's Wendy and Michael, sorry.
Yeah, technically it's Wendy and Michael.
I know. I asked him, "Are you gonna go first, or am I gonna go first?" We have to like rock paper scissors before we turn the camera on. Happy birthday! I need. Where are you now? I can't see you. Where are you? Where are
right
you?
here.
There you are! Happy birthday!
Thank you.
Yeah, I was like, all the days, like I should have been there. Anyways, that's just me being selfish. Wanted to give you a big hug and just feel that energy that you bring into recovery, right? Like that's the thing that I'm so grateful for, is the energy that you bring, the authenticity, the really just wanting to help others. It's so true and it's so real and it's so felt. And I'm grateful, because then it's a ripple effect, right? It's a total ripple effect. I feel like, what we put out there, we get back. And then so this meeting, it has the ripple effect. I know I'm not the only one feeling it. I know that everyone feels it and everyone sees it. And, and then again, then we pass it on and we pass it on. And that's what this beautiful gift is. And so it's just a really cool thing to be a part of a group that recovers out loud, because they understand it saved our life. And yeah, I want to be of maximum service to whoever I can be. And I'm so happy birthday. And I know that there's other people who have taken chips and they've had their birthdays, and I'm hearing it, and I see all the numbers going through. And it's like one of those things that, and so if you've had one, congratulations. If you've got one right around the corner, hang on, right? But what I've learned is it's like stay in the day and chase the next milestone. Right? Like we only have today. And so I know that. I know I only have today, but hell yeah, I'm chasing the next one. Right? I want that next one. And so Yeah, in a pretty good place. I'm super excited. We live close enough to come celebrate on Friday.
Yay.
So if you got anyone's gonna be there on Friday, I'm super excited to be there and celebrate and listen to this guy over here. Um, life's been kind of crazy, ups and downs right now. We're just going through some stuff that's emotional and heavy, and it's hard to just kind of be comfortable and like sit. But the program has taught me, and to feel my feelings, and feelings won't kill me, but drinking and drugging will. And so, going through the feelings, just got to feel them. And so, today I look at the things that I fucked up in the past. And today I do whatever I can to make them right in other situations, right? I'm showing up for my mom, caring for her because she's not taking care of herself very well. I showed up when her husband was dying because I couldn't do it for my dad. I show up, so I keep showing up and doing my best. And so, today's a good day and I love all of you guys. So he's the one who's going to close you out.
Love
I
you,
love
Wendy.
you.
Michael, you gonna be performing?
Yeah, I got you for sure.
Nice.
Oh,
Amazing.
man, happy birthday, Nat. 13
Thank
is a
you.
big number. Can't
I'm
wait
a,
to see you Friday. Give you a big bear hug.
I'm a teenager.
Let that fun.
Damn.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah, freaking good to see you. Good to see you, Chad. Freaking love y'all and appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all for everything y'all do. Y'all definitely just like the encouragement, the support, and just everything overall. Like we definitely, I just want to let you know that we appreciate you a lot. And Jen, thank you for coming out to share. I caught like part of your story because I was on a phone call, and oddly enough, like it was a phone call that I had to make. It was somebody who is like seen me at my lowest and my darkest when it comes to drinking and shit. And I hadn't talked to him for a while. He's working on his PhD, so he's like in isolation mode, working on a dissertation. But he's been like a father figure, and like he's just been there, like with that unconditional love. And I told him some shit I was going through, and I was just like, "Fucking, hey, I'm dealing with this right now, like, and I feel like I'm trying to get ahead of it with dealing with some emotionally heavy shit, like by reaching out to the people in the support system." And it showed me that this program, like, you start learning tools when you go to rehab or start doing the 12 steps to not go to those old habits of like isolating or like trying to take care of everything yourself. Like, fucking, we have people to love and care about us, and it's like reach out to them, talk to them, express the shit because I know what happens when I bottle shit up. So I'm like, let me not go down that road. So I'm just grateful, like, I have people today. Like, all of my family does not have the same blood, and I'm fucking super grateful for that. But yeah, life is good overall. I'm fucking looking forward to Friday. Tomorrow, I fucking have this. I'm gonna be working with an artist that I don't know. Music shit has been like coming like crazy, and I guess it's God's timing. But tomorrow I'm gonna be in the studio with this artist that's like a pretty big deal, and I was like, fucking a, like I'm just like grateful that I'm in the headspace to be able to like work full time and still take care of the music shit and like that is going in a positive direction. But then comes the hurdles in life, all the obstacles and shit that before probably would have took me out because I was like codependent, people pleaser, no boundaries, drop everything for everybody else. This toxic sense of loyalty that was like no matter what the fuck they're doing, you got to still be there. It's like no, you got to fucking you practice self care with this shit and you learn that self care is not selfish. I think sometimes we have to say it out loud to not like start internalizing and tearing ourselves apart by just taking care of ourselves and like accepting the fact that if somebody is not ready to get help, it's fucking heartbreaking to see. But you can just be there for support and just try to offer it, but like not destroying yourself in the process of trying to pull like if you are trying to help someone who is not ready for the help, it's equivalent to like fucking you're on a boat, you're trying to pull them out of the water and they're trying to pull you in simultaneously. It's like you fuck yourself up, but when they're ready, fucking throw them a life raft. And I'm glad we have this support system to be able to do that. So I love y'all. That is enough for me, and I will see y'all Friday.
We love you, Michael.
Yeah, see you
And
Friday.
Wendy. See you guys Friday.
Excited. I'm like super pumped for Friday. It's been a little bit. We went like a month longer than we normally go before doing another Recover Out Loud. So It's going to be great. And Vaughn.
Yeah, Vaughn.
Vaughn, we expect you to be there
Yeah, we
bright and
expect
early
you
because
to
we
be
may
there.
or may not have something for you.
Uh-huh.
You know? So, all right, guys, it's that time. Everybody turn on your cameras. I want to see everybody's beautiful faces because we are the...
Oh, Matt and Freddie are already dancing with
We
the
are
music.
the only meeting in the entire universe on Zoom that dances out that I know of. I don't know any other meetings on Zoom that dance out. So, Chuck, do you know how to push the button for the the dance out? It might be the wrong song, guys, but it's okay. We don't care.
We need to change the song.
We're just going to go with whatever he hits, and we're going to dance. So we're ready to go. Let's go.
Oh, wow.
God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference.
We love you guys.
See y'all Friday.
See you Friday. Thank you, Jen.
Except for the people that aren't coming, we'll see you next week.
That's right. Love y'all.